Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between lush green hills, there lived a young man named Raju. Raju was known for his kind heart and hard-working nature, but life had not been kind to him. His family was poor, and he struggled to make ends meet. Despite his efforts, misfortune seemed to follow him like a shadow. His crops failed, his father fell ill, and his dreams of a better life seemed to slip further away with each passing day. Raju often found himself sitting by the river, staring at the flowing water, wondering why life was so unfair. He would sigh and say, "Why does everything bad happen to me? No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to catch a break." One day, as Raju sat by the river, lost in his thoughts, an old sage with a long white beard approached him. The sage sat beside Raju and asked, "Why do you look so troubled, young man?" Raju poured out his heart to the sage, sharing all his struggles and misfortunes. The sage listened patiently and then said, "Raju, life is like this river. It flows, sometimes smoothly and sometimes with turbulence. But the water never stops moving. Do you know why?" Raju shook his head, curious. "Because the river believes it will eventually reach the ocean," the sage replied. "It doesn't give up, no matter how many rocks or obstacles it encounters. It remains positive, knowing that its journey will lead to something greater." The sage handed Raju a small, smooth stone and said, "This stone represents your attitude. If you hold on to negativity, it will weigh you down, just like a heavy rock in the river. But if you choose to be positive, like the flowing water, you will find a way to overcome any obstacle." Raju looked at the stone in his hand, pondering the sage's words. "But how can I be positive when everything around me is so difficult?" he asked. The sage smiled and said, "Positivity is a choice, Raju. It doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It means believing that you have the strength to overcome them. Start by finding one good thing in every day, no matter how small. Over time, you'll see how your perspective changes." With those words, the sage stood up and walked away, leaving Raju with the stone and a newfound sense of hope. Raju decided to follow the sage's advice. The next morning, instead of focusing on his struggles, he looked for something positive. He noticed the sun rising over the hills, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. "What a beautiful sight," he thought. For the first time in a long while, he felt a glimmer of joy. As the days went by, Raju made it a habit to find something good in each day. Sometimes it was the laughter of children playing in the village, other times it was the taste of a ripe mango from his tree. Slowly but surely, his outlook began to change. He started to believe that things could get better. One day, Raju heard that a wealthy merchant from the city was visiting the village to buy handmade crafts. Raju was skilled at weaving baskets, but he had never thought of selling them outside the village. With a newfound sense of optimism, he decided to try his luck. He worked tirelessly, weaving the most beautiful baskets he had ever made. When the merchant arrived, Raju presented his baskets with confidence. The merchant was impressed by the quality and craftsmanship and offered to buy all of them at a good price. Raju couldn't believe his luck. For the first time, he had earned enough money to support his family and even save a little. Word of Raju's talent spread, and soon, more merchants came to buy his baskets. His business grew, and he was able to hire other villagers to help him. Raju's life began to transform. His father's health improved, and his family no longer struggled to make ends meet. But the most significant change was in Raju himself. He no longer saw himself as a victim of circumstance. He had learned that by choosing positivity, he could create his own opportunities and shape his destiny. Years later, Raju became a respected figure in the village. He often shared his story with others, encouraging them to stay positive even in the face of adversity. One day, a young boy approached him, looking troubled, just as Raju had been all those years ago. Raju handed the boy a small, smooth stone and said, "Life is like a river, my friend. It may have rocks and obstacles, but if you stay positive, you will find your way to the ocean." The boy looked at the stone and then at Raju, a spark of hope in his eyes. Raju smiled, knowing that the sage's wisdom had come full circle. The twist: one evening, as Raju sat by the river, reflecting on how far he had come, he noticed an old man walking toward him. It was the same sage who had given him the stone years ago. Raju greeted him with gratitude, saying, "Your words changed my life. Thank you for teaching me the power of positivity. The sage smiled and said, Raju, I am glad to see how far you've come. But there's something you should know. That stone I gave you was just an ordinary stone. The real magic was always within you. Your belief in yourself and your choice to stay positive were what transformed your life. Raju was stunned. He looked at the stone in his hand and realized that the sage was right. The power to change his life had always been within him. The stone was just a reminder to believe in himself. From that day on, Raju carried the stone not as a symbol of luck, but as a reminder of the strength he had discovered within himself. And he continued to inspire others, showing them that no matter how difficult life may seem, a positive attitude can lead to incredible transformations. Moral of the story: life is full of challenges, but your attitude determines how you navigate them. By choosing positivity, you can overcome obstacles, create opportunities, and transform your life. The real power lies within you. Believe in yourself, and you can achieve greatness.